August 30, 2024. A pleasant good evening and welcome to Freedom Evening News Basket. 45 minutes of news about Liberia and the rest of our one globe. I'm Stephen Compton Angarin. And in the headlines, Opposition Congress for Democratic Change Secretary General Jefferson Koji blasts Police Deputy Inspector General for Operation Nelson Freeman for what he described as reckless statement and attacks on the CDC headquarters of recent. Liberia National Democratic Alliance, a pro-democracy and progressive political movement, announces plan to undertake a nationwide county tour aimed at documenting issues affecting the rule of law, social services, women and children's rights, among others. Kine returns to the borough of Cruton as Robert Tier was inducted into office as governor of the municipal borough after months of traditional and liquor controversies. And away from Liberia, the BBC is reporting that has withdrawn hundreds of its paramilitary officers from Burkina Faso to help in the war in Ukraine. Details of these developments, the news bulletin, and the actual voices of the news maker are all coming up next after this very short break. Welcome back. Up next is the bulletin of news with Thomas Kojo Rula. Good evening, Rula.
A pleasant good evening to you, Conto, and good evening to everyone. The opposition Congress for Democratic Change Secretary General Jefferson Koji is calling for the immediate dismissal of the Deputy Police Inspector General for Operation Nelson Freeman for what he described as the regular social media posts and constant attack on the headquarters of the opposition Congress for Democratic Change. Speaking at a press conference on Thursday, Koji accused Nelson Freeman of undermining the integrity of the Liberian National Police and called for his removal to improve the force's efficiency and credibility. He criticized Freeman's conduct, stating that the character of Nelson Freeman does not reflect the true value of the Liberian National Police. The former Monrovia City Mayor acknowledged the government efforts to enhance the professionalism of the police, but argued that such efforts are compromised by individuals like the Nelson Freeman, who he claims trash and tarnish the force's reputation with the Liberian National Police. Kochi described Freeman as unscrupulous and attested that retaining such person in the Liberian National Police will revoke and endanger ordinary citizens within the country. Additionally, Kochi praised the Supreme Court of Liberia's recent ruling in the case of Council Glorious Moses Scott and three others, which clears Scott's of involvement in the death of Shalom Musu. Kochi criticized, he went on to criticize the owner of Spoon Network, Stanton's Waterspoon, for allegedly politicizing the case and using his media platform to spread false and misinformation. He stated that Waterspoon action were improper and suggested the divine rebellion will come for those responsible for spreading false and misinformation about his involvement into the case. In response to the CDC Secretary General, Stanton Witherspoon took to Facebook to question Kochi's moral authority to serve as Secretary General of the opposition Congress for Democratic Change. Liberia National Democratic Alliance, a pro-democracy and progressive political movement, has announced plans to undertake a nationwide county tour aimed at documenting issues affecting the rule of law, social services, women and children rights, and among other concerns within the country. The group, founded in 2020, seeks to champion transformational leadership and development, advocate for the reintervention of democracy, and push for granting voting rights for Liberians who live within the diaspora. The political group believes that granting voting rights to Liberians who are abroad will strengthen democracy in Liberia by ensuring that all Liberians have a fair share of the nation's resources and equal access to political and social opportunities. In an interview with the USA Voice mobile phone, Linan executive chairperson Patrick Johnson disclosed that the nationwide tour will include meetings with traditional leaders, women and youth groups, as well as community and town hall discussions. He further emphasized that the tour will prioritize documenting the health and education needs of local residents, as well as issues related to the rule of law and justice system within the rural part of Liberia. He also mentioned that during the tour, the institution will establish local leadership structures in counties where the group is not currently active to strengthen the presence and operation of the National Liberia National Democratic Alliance and across the country. According to Johnson, the grassroots pro-democracy and political movement intends to address the direct needs of Liberians by engaging in major initiatives that will have a positive impact on community rather than engaging in empty rhetorics as allegedly done by other politicians of the past. The Liberian National Police, in collaboration with the Liberian National Commission on Arms, has taken a step aimed at taking siege of the circulations of illegal firearms within the country. Recently, the Liberian National Police, through its Inspector General, Colonel Gregory Coleman, declared over the influx of illegal firearms within the country. According to the police IG, the illegal circulations of firearms pose serious threat to the peace and stability of Liberia. Meanwhile, in an effort to curtail the situation and ensure public safety and security within the country, the NMP and the INCA, under the provision of Firearm and Ammunition Act of 2015, have revoked all firearms permits within the country. This, according to an NMP release on Friday, mandates all individuals who attain firearms under the previous licenses issued to surrender them to the NMP headquarters in the coming days. The video at the same time clarified that only permits granted to diplomatic missions would be considered valid. Meanwhile, the NMP maintained that any violators of its mandate will face legal penalties, including fines and imprisonments. Kine has finally been restored in the borough of Kutam as Robert Tier was inducted in the office as governor of the township of the borough of Kutam after months of traditional and legal controversies within the area. The induction ceremony, which took place on Friday, brought together government officials, youth leaders, women representatives, as well as religious leaders, with key focus on the issues of peace and dialogue. Speaking during the induction ceremony, Internal Affairs Minister Francis Nimanin lauded the people of Kutan for their resilience demonstrated for the sake of peace within the area. Minister Nimanin followed honored that Liberia as well have citizens everywhere, noting that he will collaborate with both the governor and the elders for the success of the area. Also speaking, the newly inducted head of the borough of Kuta, Robert Tia, showed the government of Liberia and residents of the neighborhood of an inclusive leadership for the growth and development of the city. Meanwhile, speaking on behalf of the elders, Pastor Jasper Wuleti said the elders' action is not directed to Governor Tia as an individual, but to ensure that the right things are done within the neighborhood. The Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, has found Lee Group of Enterprises, a Chinese rubber processing company operating within Corning Fine, Salada District, Bon County, guilty of polluting the Navol River, which forms the boundary between Magibi and Bon counties. The EPA investigations were prompted by a report from journalists on the operation of Lee Group of Enterprises within the area. The report established that the company was discharging wastewater from its facility through a channel into the Navol River, contaminating it with chemical and raw rubber particles. The river is the only source of basic livelihood for local community dwellers who have reportedly suffered from sinking rashes as a result of polluted water within the neighborhood. Delivering an official statement at the Ministry of Information press briefing on Thursday of this week, EPA Executive Director Emmanuel Yakpa stated that the institution launched a comprehensive investigation on 3rd August 2024. The investigation, according to him, included water quality testing, site assessment, and community survey. that Yakma would have noted that the EPA funding shows that the group of enterprises is responsible for significant contaminations of rivers within the area due to chemical pollutions. Furthermore, the report confirmed that the water contamination has had a significant impact on the community residents, many of whom relied on the Naford River for their daily water needs, including drinking, cooking, and bathing. Councillor Bobby Livingstone, who was one of the prosecutors in the case involving former Chief Justice Councillor Glorious Moses Scott, has reacted sharply to the Supreme Court notification of the life sentence of the death of their foster daughter, Charlotte Muzu. On Wednesday of this week, the Supreme Court of Liberia overturned the verdict of the lower court, which sentenced former Chief Justice Gloria Moses Scott in $3 for the role in the death of Charlotte Muzu because what it called insufficient evidence to link Justice Scott and $3 relative to the crime. Speaking in an interview with the Voice of America Daybreak Africa program, Bobby Livingstone said that the Supreme Court reversal of the justice sentences means that the use of the circumstantial evidence can no longer be used in the Liberian law. According to Livingstone, the Supreme Court ruling is an indication that it will no longer accept circumstantial evidence to be accepted in the judiciary system of the country. And report coming in from Buchanan Grand Bassa says the mayor of the city of Buchanan, George Gambuya, has urgently appealed for assistance to acquire dump trucks, citing its crucial role in his administrative operations as mayor of the city of Buchanan. Speaking at a stakeholder meeting here at the Grand Bassa Health Team office in the city of Buchanan, and Mayor George highlighted the significant challenges faced due to the absence of vehicles and other issues to make work easier for his office. He emphasized that the lack of dump truck has been a major impediment in managing waste and maintaining the city infrastructure effectively. According to him, without a dump truck, they are struggling to keep up waste management an essential way of maintaining tax within the area. The meeting, attended by local leaders, community members, and stakeholders, focused on the city pressing needs and strategies for addressing them. Mayor George called for support with efforts to a broader concern about the city capacity to manage its resources and services effectively. The local officials and residents are urged to rally support for the mayor initiative to acquire a dump truck and could be a significant way of enhancing the city operational capacity and contribute toward the healthy needs of the city of Buchanan in Grand Bassa County. Well, Stephen, that's the shape of the bulletin of news. It's back to you for the continuation of Freedom Even News Basket.
Thomas Kojo Roller there with the news bulletin. It is a regular feature on Freedom Evening News Basket. 45 minutes of news about Liberia and the rest of our one globe. And in one of our top developments, Opposition Congress for Democratic Change Secretary General Jefferson Koji blasts Police Deputy Inspector General for Operation Nelson Freeman for what he described as reckless statement and attacks on the CDC headquarters of recent. We are taking a very short break. When we come back, we'll bring you voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back and thanks for rejoining us. Congress for Democratic Change Secretary General is calling for the immediate dismissal of Deputy Inspector General for Operation Nelson Freeman from the Liberia National Police. Speaking at a press conference on Thursday, Koji accused Freeman of undermining the integrity of the NP and called for his removal to improve the force's efficiency and credibility. He criticized Freeman's conduct, stating the character of Freeman does not reflect the true value of the LNP.
to have Nelson Freeman here as deputy for operation. Nelson, and let me say to you, let me look to you in this camera, Nelson Freeman. I don't know what to do these things. I hear the day ECOWAS arrived here and you went and posted and said you have the capacity and the next time. Don't worry, Nelson. Apparently, you have the experience saying you were associated with Charles in Banga. We know your history for the way we have done that. We have decided to profile you now, so it's a very good thing. The only thing that bless you is we thought that we should let it go. For you to pride yourself with chronic and make it arrogant, and you think you're serious person, and you think you can come here and threaten people, will not say much to you. They are men with less word, but with deliberate conviction. You can rest assured, never again in your existing you can harm a sedition. If that ever happens, the consequences will be unspecified. It will certainly be unspecified. I'm speaking to you directly, Nelson Freeman. I know you. So we got to understand the next time, no sedition. I'm talking about if anything that happens, whether maybe you'll be thinking, not you particularly, if a police in any form of manner inflict any casualty on sedition, any other person, you can rest assured this time around there will be unspecified consequences. Not just only you as a person, anything that is associated with you, you can rest assured will be in a.
At the same time, Koji accused Stanton Witherspoon of spreading false news in the country and said that divine retribution should come for spreading falsehood and misinformation about his involvement with bad things in the country.
And I speak directly to Stanton Witherspoon. Speak to him directly. Liberia has many other curses. Stanton is one of the curses that we have to deal with. He's one of the curses that we have to deal with. And maybe you think it's a joke. It's not a joke. Stanton Witherspoon is a curse to this land. A man who parades with dead conscience. And I'm asking you, I keep telling you, you take it for a joke. If Stanton Witherspoon, if you have a privilege to ask his relatives, beginning with his wife and his daughter, I believe strongly that will disown that curse. Do not want to associate with that curse. A man who, with a dead conscience, shamelessly, spiritlessly, he said, I don't know, whatever messianic imagination that he's a serious person. What kind of, this country in trouble? This country in serious trouble. He is a character that presents himself as our moral compass. Sometimes you feel very ashamed to be called a Liberian. Then he said to you, he talks for Liberia. He claimed that he advocates for this country. And he wants to, oh God. But you see, even Satan professed of knowing Christ. But it would take one day, this land of our forefather, this land of our great ancestor, shall rise to the occasion and confront its evil creatures.
Congress for Democratic Change Secretary General Jefferson Koji there blasting Stanton Witherspoon and Deputy Inspector General for Operation Nelson Freeman of the Liberia National Police. Councillor Bobby Livingstone, who was one of the prosecutors in the case involving former Chief Justice Gloria Omosu-Scott, has reacted to the Supreme Court's notification of a life sentence for the death of a foster daughter. On Wednesday, the Supreme Court of Liberia overturned the verdict of the lower court, which sentenced former Chief Justice Gloria Omosu-Scott and 3 others for their role in the death of Chala Mosu. He termed the insufficient evidence to link Justice Scott and 3 others' relatives. Speaking in an interview with VOA Daybreak Africa, Bobby Livingstone disclosed that the Supreme Court's reversal of Justice Scott's sentence means that the use of circumstantial evidence can no longer be used in the Liberian law.
I have said before, immediately after the ruling was rendered, that the essence of a criminal prosecution is not to persecute, but to ensure that justice is served. Now, with respect to the current case, that was disposed of by the Supreme Court, the prosecution went on circumstantial evidence. Now, there's a difference between circumstantial evidence and scientific evidence. Circumstantial evidence is presumptive evidence of deductive evidence. Standard of proof is that by all circumstances that prevail in the facts of that case, it will point to a reasonable man's mind that this person is the doer of the crime. Now, in 2024, the Supreme Court has come and has argued that the circumstantial evidence will now be juxtaposed with scientific evidence. So definitely then we have an issue now that a new precedent now has been set that circumstantial evidence may no longer be a reliable evidentiary material to take to court to prove a prosecution's case.
I spoke with the former Chief Justice. She said to me that the government or the prosecution had scientific evidence about the killing, but refused to pursue it. She also said that she feels there's a need for police prosecutors reform in Liberia.
Well, I don't want to respond to the acquitted former Chief Justice statement in this particular interview. I want to not delve into that because we know we did a piece of job, that we are convinced that we did this piece of job. If you go back to the file of our case and begin to read her own testimony and begin to read the testimony of some of her relatives, you will find it disturbing. And so she has an acquitter, and I believe she should proceed with her normal life and should not indulge in discrediting, because we have gone to court in many instances in this country. We have gotten convictions for murder. So a single incident of her acquitter is not a yardstick to condescend or elevate the standing of the prosecutor of this country. So I'm just saying that's our opinion, and I'd like to leave it as such and just say that a new standard has been introduced because that's what called stare decisis. The Supreme Court now has set a new standard and now making the case that circumstantial evidence may no longer be a tool that we can employ in our jurisprudence, given what has transpired in this case. Although this very Supreme Court ruled in countless opinions on circumstantial evidence, even upholding the ruling of subordinate courts.
Councillor Bobby Livingstone there speaking. Still here with more developments. Kind has finally been restored in the borough of Kutam as Robert Thier was inducted into office as governor of the municipal borough after months of traditional and legal controversies. The induction ceremony, which took place on August 30, brought together government officials, youth and women representatives, as well as religious leaders with key focus on peace and dialogue. Speaking during the induction ceremony, Internal Affairs Minister Francis Nyemalid lauded the people of Kutam for their resilience demonstrated for the sake of peace. Minister Nyemalid further added that Liberia is all we have as citizens, noting that he will collaborate with both the governor and the elders for the success of New Kutam.
I want to say a big thank you to Madam Comforto, our mother, the chairperson of the council of the borough of New Kutam, members of the council, our chairpersons of various communities of the borough, for your patience. We know Liberia is all we have. We have to do everything we can to live in peace. We decided to move here based on the instruction of the president to make sure that the matter in New Kutam is amicably resolved. We want to be thankful to all of you that today is finally the day for the governor of the borough, Mr. Robert Thier, to be inducted. We know that this is truly God's making. Because it's God's making, it must work. And as we have said, behind closed door, the governor of this borough appointed by the president as per the dictates of the law creating the borough is not coming as a law unto himself. He asked by the president to come and serve his people. And we know that for you to govern the borough of New Cruton, you have to work with a council. The council is the decision-making body of the borough. We want to assure you that we give the fullest support to the governor to the extent that we guide him to where we you.
Also speaking, Governor Robert Thier assured the government and the people of New Cruton of an inclusive leadership for the growth and development of the borough.
Mr. Minister, I want to say thank you. For the matter of almost 3 to 4 weeks, you have not been scheduled, but you have done everything. You have to make sure the camp restored to New Cruton. I can assure you, Mr. Minister, with the level of what we have been doing to our people, we will do our best to make sure our people bring smile to the faces. These are our elders we've been working together over the past year, and nothing will depart off by working with them. I can assure you once again, Mr. Minister, my elders, it was good that this thing happened so that we can be able to cement our relationship. I can assure you, I have been standing with you all the years, all of the period, and we'll do our best to ensure that those things that lost over the years to regain your status. As well, this power did not have a budget. These old people try to work from Monday to Friday. They're not getting paid. And you know what, people are not working, you know how you're looking. So they're going to offer wait for the 8 months. If you don't put for the 8 months, I expect for the work. People have something to support. They got people to send the children to school. I want to speak to the minister, to also get the president, that indeed, the 28 months to come to help us. More beside that, to make sure that we be in the budget. Because when you're in the budget, we're going to be in the budget.
Newly inducted Governor of the Borough of Cruton, Robert Thier, there speaking. Earlier, you listened to Internal Affairs Minister Francis Yimale during the induction ceremony of the Governor Robert Thier. The youth wing of the Christian Association of the Blind has begun a 3-day roundtable discussion aimed at exploring youth visually impaired females about gender-based violence and micro business. CAP Secretary General Elijah Mayon disclosed that the training of the trainers roundtable discussion has also been conducted in Nimba and Magibi counties. He explained that the facilitators for the roundtable discussion are drawn from the Ministry of Health and United Nations Children Fund.
As part of our vision as an institution to empower our members, to empower the blind, we've been pushing young people, and the young people have engaged into the implementation of an empowerment project supported by our friends from Denmark, that is the Danish Association of the Blind. Part of this project is to build the confidence of young blind persons so that they can speak up for themselves, especially challenging stereotypes and barriers that often hamper their participation. Another component of it is to give them education about sexual reproductive health, as it enables them to have a true understanding of autonomy over their body. Also give them an understanding of what is gender-based violence and how to report it. Vocational aspect of it is where the girls learn to do bread. Of course, they are going to learn to do bread and make different kinds of bread. They're going to also make cookies and different things. We implemented this workshop as well in 2 other counties because this project, the youth, targets 3 counties, Monserrado, Margibi, and Nimba counties, respectively. So Nimba County, they learned to process the caustic and make soap, different kinds of soap, and their training was just completed Maggi, the guys there make cornbread, shortbread, and different kinds of.
Elijah Marion is the Secretary General of the Christian Association of the Blind. They're speaking. And with half an hour past the news presentation, we'll take a very short break and get words from our sponsor, Crown Stoppers Liberia. When we come back, we'll bring you more developments.
There are crowds in many places, in every community, you can see. So if you see crime, you report it. Don't take law in your hands for the right authority. Really can't take care of it. Crime Stopper here for us, bringing safety to your door. Whether you rich or you poor, if you see you must target. I mean you cheche, do it for your safety. If you see don't keep it. I'm a part of report it. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop crime for all of us. Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and make it peace for them before. Crime Stopper Liberia, from the center to interior. Crime Stopper, keeping us safe, let's stop crime for all of us.
Crime Stopper Liberia is here for you. Remember, you see it, you report it. This is a message from your own self, Omen Samsaya.
Crime Stopper, the people bringing safety to your door. Crime Stopper, stopping crime and making peace for them before.
Many thanks. So, our sponsor, Crown Stoppers Liberia, for that message. Ahead of the news presentation is our foreign development, and this development sets the pace. A non-for-profit organization named and styled Better Future Liberia wants government and international partners to help renovate the A.M. Doherty College of Medicine and Health Sciences of the state-owned university. The A.M. Doherty College of Medicine is the only medical college in Liberia and has over 4 buildings erected near the Atlantic Ocean. The buildings are in dire need for renovation. Nearly every Liberian doctor in the country studied at the college, and the buildings currently have no running water for students attending. Speaking in an interview with this station Friday, Better Future Executive Director Augustine Akwait said since fire destroyed the dormitory, which is located in Fendale, nothing has been done to repair the building. He alleged that the building is not conducive for learning because of the lack of electricity, safe drinking water, and among other things.
The leadership and members of Better Future Foundation wish to highlight to you a chain of dilemmas or problems faced by students of the Achille Mario Douglaty College of Medicine and Health Sciences of the state-owned University of Liberia, and the crucial urgent need for the government of Liberia, which is clothed with the constitutional and statutory obligation and responsibility for the education of Liberians, to promptly intervene aimed at ameliorating the prevailing gloomy learning situation at the state-owned medical college. Minutes after the white coat ceremony in honor of 29 first-year students for the academic 2024-2025 into the A.M. Douglaty College of Medicine and Health Sciences of the State-owned University of Liberia, a mysterious fire outbreak occurred, which led to the damage of one of the 2 dormitories on the campus of the medical college situated in Fendale, Louisiana, outside Monrovia.
This is why we are calling on the government of Liberia through the Liberian National Fire Service to thoroughly investigate the cause of said fire incident on the UL Medical College campus, although no student, administrator, or staff of the college was reported injured. Better Future Foundation also want the government of Liberia, international development partners, and other educational stakeholders to quickly intervene by repairing the damaged facilities of the medical college, including broken windows and doors, and the restoration of electrical wiring systems on the college campus. There exist deprived learning conditions at the A.M. Douglas College of Medicine and Health Sciences of the University of Liberia. For instance, students, including males and females, are learning without much needed accessibility to electricity, pure and safe drinking water, as well as adequate security personnel to safeguard the college campus.
That's the executive director of a group on the bottom, Better Future Live, that's Foundation, they're speaking, and he's Augustine Akwe. And now away from whom Russia is withdrawing hundreds of its paramilitary officers from Burkina Faso to help in the war in Russia. They are part of about 300 soldiers from the Beard Brigade of a Russian private military company who arrived in the West African nation made to support the country's military junta. On its Telegram channel, the group said its forces who returned home to support Russia's defense against Ukraine's recent offense in the Kursk region. They feared that the pull-out could embody Islamic insurgents in Burkina Faso, who recently killed up to 300 people in one of the biggest attacks in this year. Burkina Faso has since 2015 suffered regular jihadist attacks with more than 2 million people displaced in what aid group called the world's most neglected crisis. Joined on interim president Ibrahim Traoré, who came to power in the coup in September 2022, promised to end the attacks, but he struggled even after seeking new security partnership with Russia. With nearly half the country outside government control, jihadist group are increasingly targeting civilian and military units. Survivors says up to 300 people were killed on Saturday in the northern town of Basaloga in an attack which was claimed by an Al-Qaeda-linked armed group. Well, that does it for the foreign development, and it is taking us home on this weekend edition of the news program. But before we take leave of you, here are top stories. We'll close the photo. Opposition Congress for Democratic Change Secretary General Jefferson Koji blasts the police deputy inspector general for Operation Nelson Freeman for what he described as reckless statement and attack on the CDC headquarters of recent. Liberia Democratic Alliance, a pro-democracy and progressive political movement, announces plan to undertake a nationwide tour aimed at denouncing and documenting issues affecting the rule of law, social services, women, and children's rights, among others. Khan returns to the borough of Kutown as Robert Thier was inducted into office as the governor of the municipal borough of Kutown after months of traditional and legal controversies. And away from the home soil, Russia is withdrawing hundreds of its paramilitary officers from Burkina Faso to help in the war in Ukraine. We want to say a big thanks to our news writers, editors, reporters, and correspondents from across the country for making to this news presentation a success. Thomas Kojo Rolas was here with the news bulletin. Marilyn Grayfield, Sarah Control, and ably coordinated the sound system. And Stephen Compton. For and on behalf of the entire news team here at Freedom Communications Incorporated, bye-bye.